Along with the rest of the country, New York's economy is in deep recession. Young people aged 14 to 24 have been especially hard hit by this economic downturn. Nationally, the teen labor force participation rate has fallen to its lowest level since 1948. In the first 3 months of 2009, fewer than 30% of the nation's teenagers were employed. This continues an alarming trend. Consider that in the summer of 1979, 51.7% of male teens were employed. By 2008, their employment had fallen sharply, and only 31.6% were employed. Research shows that for every year that teens work, their income in their 20s rises 14% to 16%. Girls who have jobs are much less likely to become pregnant, and boys are less likely to get involved in property crime and drug use. High school graduation rates also go up for young people with work experience. In the year 2000, the federal government ended a 40-year investment in summer jobs for economically disadvantaged young people. This year, under the American Recovery and Reinvestment Act, New York was awarded $61 million in workforce funds to create youth jobs. This enabled the state to provide summer employment for about 24,000 young people. This video describes, in their own words, what having a job this summer meant to New York's future leaders.
My name is Hassan Ali, and I'm originally from Pakistan, and this is the 2009 Summer Youth Program. This is my third year in this program. I was in the class when I was called down from the counselor if I was interested 3 years ago, and I took this opportunity. I filled out the application, and that was my first job in the U.S. You know, coming here, getting the experience, and entering the outside world. This job opportunity gave me to step out in the world and see how it's like. You know, going to school, and sometimes it's up to you coming on time or not, but on work, it's different. You know, someone is watching you. So I would say it gave me opportunity to see what's out there.
I don't want to be in jail. I don't want to be there. I don't want to be, I want to be where I want to go somewhere.
I think it's very important because kids now are going to be going to college, and they're the future. So it's good for them to learn it now compared to later down the line.
I think it definitely provides a structure that's much needed. Besides, obviously, the economic benefit, I think it provides a structure. And besides the workshops and the educational component, these students build relationships with one another, but they also understand that there's a system out there that's out there to help them and provide some kind of beneficial summer experience.
Kids coming out of high school, going into technical programs in college, they're not going into science and technology programs. I consider it a national tragedy, and the country as a whole is going to be in big trouble if we don't mitigate this somehow. If we could get out of this program and having 1 or 2 or 3 students eventually go to college because we encouraged them, that would make me die a very happy man.
Well, this summer I was really looking for a job in the town of Cobleskill, and I had a very difficult time. Many places said they weren't hiring at all, or they were even cutting back, and part of the work I wanted to do was to work on a farm, and I don't really have a ride to get to the farm, and the way the program's actually set up really helped me take care of that, and my transportation's pretty much taken care of, so in terms of that I don't have to expend, and that's really good because I have lots of things I have to pay for, rent and insurance and all that kind of thing.
I think the important value of working as a team is because when you go out into life and you go pursue your career, I mean, you're always going to be part of a team in some respect, because you're working with coworkers and you're working with other agencies maybe or something of that nature, so there's always the team concept, and as long as I get the idea that it's not always about me, it has to be a team concept. Whatever I do may affect somebody else, then it's a good building block for them to learn up front now while they're young to realize that, hey, everything I do in the future from here on out is probably going to involve somebody else besides just myself.
So I was excited, especially when I heard about all the extra funding and how many people were able to get jobs. Before this, I was in the office placing kids, so I got to see how many kids got jobs that normally didn't. So this program's wonderful, so especially seeing these kids, they work hard every day. and they love being here, so it's important to have a program like this. I'm in college, so I talk about my college experience a lot, so hopefully some of these kids, it wears off on them and they'll start thinking about college and getting motivated in school. So I just hope to be a good role model.
It actually makes me feel pretty proud of myself because I know that I've achieved something and my parents are proud. I didn't think I'd get a job at this age.
Well, we're actually learning about global warming and things that affect the environment, such as deforestation, CO2, overuse of things that harm the environment, pollutants, stuff like that, and how we can try to work towards a better future. A lot of the stuff that I learned in here, I learned earlier this year, and I, basically knew a lot of the stuff. So it's making me, understand that a lot of the stuff, it ties into real life, because sometimes when you're sitting in a classroom, you're wondering, why do we need to learn this? And now you understand why, to sort of work towards things in the future and to make things better.
I'm so happy for this job too. I always go home, I'm like, oh my God, I'm so happy. I like this job. I'm having like the feelings, the experience, like looking through papers, like files and stuff like that, because I never imagined like how it is. Oh yeah, that's what I was telling my mom. I'm like, oh my God, I love this job. I just want to like continue with this job all my life when I'm still going with my school.
It's very rewarding, and I would definitely recommend it to any one of my friends that are bold enough to face what they might see in a medical center. I had an idea, but this sealed it really, that it's actually something I want to do. I was able to talk to the practitioners here in the hospital, I was able to talk to the nurses and get a real idea of what it's like.
It's shown me a lot more careers. Like, I didn't really realize how many careers there were in a hospital, so it's given me a lot more of an idea of how many things I can really do.
Well, I'm going to still be going to school because I come here from 8 to 12, and then I go to school from 1 to 4. So I plan on going to school and then taking LPN classes, and after that, take nursing courses at the MV, and hopefully become a nurse sometime in the future.
It's definitely broadened my perspective of the health field. I came into this as a freshman thinking that I wanted to be an obstetrician, and now I'm looking just into nursing, or I actually was interested in radiography for a while, and this kind of made my interest levels higher for what I'm doing now.
I'd probably be sitting home.
I'd probably be sitting home alone, doing nothing, sleeping in, stuff like that. Sitting at home like a teenager, watching TV, doing nothing.
Probably sleeping in and hanging out with friends.
Probably sleeping or like hanging out with some friends.
Gain a respect for yourself and for your employer, for your job that you're doing, your position in the community, putting in the effort. That everywhere you go all the time, you can learn so much, and especially at your job, where everything is new. And if you take advantage of the opportunity, you can definitely learn a lot.
So that's the story of New York's Summer Youth Employment Program in 2009. It's about providing meaningful jobs in an economy that otherwise offered few for young people in New York this summer. And it's also a story about young people learning what work requires. When the country comes out of a recession, teen employment typically lags the recovery of overall employment by at least 1 to 2 years. So job opportunities for teenagers will likely not begin to recover until 2012. How will the country and state address this problem in 2010? To be determined.